Some people take a road trip. And then there are people who embark on a 17,000-kilometer solo expedition to physically connect two halves of their soul. So let's dive into the incredible story of the Chieftreker. I mean, just look at this photo. This right here, this is a moment of pure, unfiltered joy. It's a victory cry after thousands upon thousands of kilometers of hardship. But what does it actually take to get to a moment like this? What kind of drive, what kind of struggle leads to this kind of triumph? To really get it, we have to go back to the beginning. We have to understand the why. And that why, well, that's what makes this whole thing so much more than just a road trip. This entire expedition is deeply, deeply personal. It's about one man's mission to bridge the distance, not just on a map, but emotionally and culturally between two completely different lives he's lived. And here it is, in his own words. This isn't about just flying over the space between his two homes. No, it's about feeling every single mile of it, to really experience the physical land that both separates and connects the two parts of his life. It's a quest to understand himself, the world, and figure out how that journey could build a bridge for other people too. And this really puts it into perspective, doesn't it? On one side, you've got 25 years in Uganda, his first home, and on the other, more than 2 decades in London. This expedition, it's like he's using it as a physical thread to stitch those two halves of his life into one single unbroken story. Okay, so let's get into the journey itself, because connecting these worlds meant taking on an unbelievably challenging and honestly unforgiving road. And this was his trusty partner, a 20-year-old Mitsubishi Shogun. We're not talking about some brand new top-of-the-line vehicle. This is a machine with history, with grit, a perfect reflection of the man behind the wheel. So the journey kicks off from London, but this was never going to be a straight shot south. No, he went east, carving a path through Europe, across the entire Middle East, and then turning to drive down the spine of Africa, a truly massive solo undertaking. And you can just see the story on the vehicle itself. I mean, look at the difference here. On the left, you've got the clean start, and on the right, well, that's the reality. The road didn't just challenge the car, it practically consumed it, caking it in mud, stripping it down to its raw, determined core. And the challenges, wow, they were just off the charts. He was one of the very first foreigners to even enter post-war Sudan by a land border, in a foreign car. Then he had to literally forge his own path through jungle corridors where roads, well, they just didn't exist. In this picture right here, this tells you everything you need to know about the daily grind. This was not a scenic drive. It was a constant, grinding battle. Just imagine the sheer effort, the mental strain of being in this exact moment, stuck deep in the mud, miles from anywhere. It was a fight that pushed both man and machine to their absolute breaking point, day after day. But all of that struggle, all of that perseverance, it all led to something pretty extraordinary. It led to a point where the true scale of what he was doing became crystal clear. Get this. By the time he reached Abu Simbel in Egypt, which was only the midpoint of his journey, he had already set and claimed 12, that's right, 12 world records. And these aren't just entries in a record book. They're about smashing barriers. I mean, think about it. The first African-born Brits, the first solo Black African, the first Ugandan to conquer these specific, grueling routes. He was literally blazing a new trail in a field of exploration that hasn't always looked like him. Then you've got the feats of just pure human endurance. At 50 years old, he didn't just try this route, he set records on it. We're talking over 17,000 kilometers of solo driving. It's an incredible testament to his willpower, proving that grit and determination really don't have an age limit. And this was also an incredible journey of discovery. He meticulously documented a huge number of ancient sites, from Babylon in Iraq to Petra in Jordan and the temples of Egypt. It ended up being the most comprehensive documentation of its kind by an African-led expedition, and it was all done with a deep sense of cultural respect. But even with 12 world records in the bag, the mission was far from over. Because from the very beginning, this journey was always about something so much bigger than just personal discovery or breaking records. And this number right here, 1 million pounds. This is the other engine driving this entire expedition. It's an ambitious goal that gives the next leg of the journey a really profound purpose. And this is where it all comes together. This is where the two parts of his world truly connect.
This entire epic adventure is also platform. It's the longest ever autism awareness campaign of its kind, with the goal of raising £1 million to support kids with autism back in his first home, Uganda. He isn't just connecting his own story, he's using that journey to build a better, more hopeful world for others.
The Chieftreker's journey was over 17,000 kilometers of mud, sand, and asphalt. So it really makes you wonder, right? For all the different parts of our own lives, what are the roads, maybe the ones we can't see, the ones that aren't paved yet, that are just waiting for us to travel them?